Hello and welcome to another double sleeve review, where today we're looking at the Ultimate Guard Cortex matte and gloss sleeves. A fairly new offering from Ultimate Guard. Are they any good, or should you just stick with what you already know? Stay tuned and find out. And if you enjoy these videos and want to see a few more, why not subscribe? Check out some other videos, or just like the video and leave a comment. It's all appreciated. In our outer sleeve reviews, we break things down into 5 categories: toughness, shuffleability, foil clarity and opacity, double sleeving, and price. First we look at toughness, and for this we do a simple stretch test. We grab either side of the sleeve and we pull, and we see how much resistance those seams will offer us. Starting with the gloss sleeves, and a pretty good showing, not too bad. Enough of a pull was required to break the seams, a little bit of bending in the plastic, some sleeves ripped fairly easily and some offered a little bit more resistance, so you know what, pretty good job, not too bad. As for the matte sleeves, however, they were, and I'm going to say it, probably the toughest outer sleeve I have ever done on a stretch test. It didn't seem to matter what I did. I could pull and pull. The plastic would start to go a little bit, the seams just wouldn't budge. I think from a huge amount of very concentrated work, I managed to get a bit of a break out of one of the seams, but truly very, very strong seams, so well done on the mats. Next we look at shuffleability, and for this I do 1,000 rough shuffles. That's 1,000 rough shuffles with the mats and 1,000 rough shuffles with the glosses. I did that all in the same day, and let me tell you, my hands are still pretty sore. It is not a way that you should be shuffling your cards. However, once double sleeved, I basically just try and break the seams through shuffling. The results were that the glosses, after about 300 shuffles, they were not looking too good. You could feel the fraying on the edge of the seams, and you could hear it when you were shuffling. By 1,000, we've got far too many notches and markings that you would probably not be able to play these in a tournament, but also they just wouldn't be particularly nice and friendly to shuffle with. So not the worst that we've ever seen, but definitely not good. As for the mats, well, surprisingly, the same amount of aggression and force was given, but they're pretty much unscathed. A little bit of bending in the corners of some of these sleeves where they've had a little bit too much pressure on them, but very few nicks, very few marks, and pretty much good as new. So very, very well done for the mats, and not great from the glosses. Next we look at foil clarity and opacity, and as you would expect with the matte sleeves, the foil clarity is not the best. It's kind of why you buy a matte sleeve. The colours are also somewhat dulled, but yeah, overall just not the greatest display of shininess. The glosses, however, look absolutely lovely, a lovely shine on them, and the colours look fantastic. So obviously, depending on which one you want, that'll be the deciding factor as to which one of these sleeves is right for you. As for opacity, well, the matte sleeves had just a slightly more opaque backing, and the only thing we could see with the glosses was when held up to a light, you could see the outline of the card. You can't see any of the text on it, but you can make out that there is a slight little bit of light penetration. So a small difference, and equally that could be down to the colours, as we had red and green, just slightly different. But overall, both should be fine. Naturally, if it matters that much to you that they are opaque, then I would check the exact colour of the exact sleeve yourself. And if you're going to a tournament, it's always best to check with the tournament organisers beforehand anyway. Next we look at double sleeving, and interestingly enough, we found when sleeving with every inner sleeve that we have, that the glosses were just a little bit looser, and therefore had a much easier time of double sleeving. We had fewer what we know as slips when the sleeve comes out of the inner sleeve when going into the outer sleeve with the glosses, because, as I said, a little bit more room. With the mats, it wasn't too bad, but there were a few sleeves, like the KMC sleeves and the Dragon Shield inner sleeves, where there was a little bit more fiddling required, and you might have to do the old 2 cards, 1 card either side trick to try and get the inner sleeved card in order to not have it ride up. But overall, you know what, both pretty good, and there were certainly no instances where we refused to inner sleeve with these. They are perfectly roomy enough. Lastly, we look at price, and we sell both the matte and gloss sleeves for £6.25 on our UK TCG website. That is actually a little bit cheaper than Dragon Shield mattes and a little bit cheaper than the Eclipses from Ultra Pro. However, a little bit more expensive than Gamegenics. I think you'll find that's probably about the pricing that will be around the market no matter where you are, but really quite reasonable prices. Definitely worth looking at if you're someone who's looking for a fairly budget sleeve. So yeah, pretty good job on price. So overall, what do we think about these two? For me, it's going to depend naturally as to whether or not you want the matte version or the gloss version purely for the matte or gloss finish. I certainly wouldn't change my opinion on whether I wanted to see my foils or not based on whether the mattes are a slightly better sleeve. However, if you're not bothered and either sleeve will do, then for me, the matte's just a little bit better, a little bit more resilient, a little bit tougher, and a little bit nicer to shuffle with over a longer period of time. However, if you want to display your cards in a binder, maybe you've got a foil deck and you really want to show it off, you know what, these glosses will do just fine. So for us, I think that the Cortexes are a decent pickup. Do I think that they are as good as Ultimate Guard's Katanas? No, quite frankly, they're not. Katanas are one of our favourite sleeves for sure. Do I think that if you've got a whole collection or a bunch of decks to sleeve up, or maybe you just need to grab a pack of sleeves to do something, a quick weekend or a Friday night game, then yeah, Cortexes will do you just fine, not breaking the bank either, which is perfect. What do you guys think? Do you use Cortexes? Have you seen them out and about? Have you thought about trying them but not? What's your go-to sleeve at the moment? Either way, we'd love to hear about it. And is there another product that we should be reviewing? Let us know in the comments below. We would love to know because we want more recommendations to do more of these reviews. Coming up next 2 weeks, in 2 weeks' time, we'll do our double-sleeved ultimate guide on sleeving. You better be ready for it because we're going to go through quite a lot of information and show you a neat tool that we've come up with to help you out. Either way, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed it, and also, why not subscribe to the channel? We're really appreciating the influx of people that want to see our content. It makes us feel so appreciated, so thank you very much. And check out our next video in 2 weeks' time for, yeah, one hell of a video. Anyway, we'll see you guys later on. Thank you.